Now, I know we are well away from the iPhone 14 lineup launching this September, but man, the rumors on this lineup started leaking last year, right around when the iPhone 13 came out. I honestly feel when they start this early, it's just tech publications trying to get clicks, but some of these rumors make a lot of sense, and I kind of want to go through them to get a better idea of what to expect. The last redesign of the iPhone was with the iPhone 12, and I don't expect a major redesign this year, but what I will think will happen is that you'll see more visual changes on the iPhone 14 than we did going from the 12 to the iPhone 13. The Face ID notch will shrink again, but this year it's going to get crazy small. Some people think it will actually be a hole punch like you'd find on an Android phone, but I personally think it's most likely going to be a pill-shaped cutout in the middle and a circular camera hole on the right or left side of it. A lot of people thought this would be the year that there would be an under-display front-facing camera, but as good as they are getting, they're still nowhere near the quality of one that's not. Apple will wait until the tech is mature enough to match the cameras we use today. That's why I think they've been slow to upgrade the front-facing camera year over year and just adding better AI to compensate. As for the display, some suggest the iPhone 14 will finally get a refresh display of 120 Hz, but my gut feeling is that it will still be reserved only for the Pro and Pro Max. Apple needs features that differentiate the Pro from the non-Pro, and this will definitely be one of them. But what I think will happen is the iPhone 14 will get the 13 Pro panel minus the high refresh rate, and the 14 Pro and Pro Max will get a newer brighter panel to compensate. The iPhone mini will most likely be ditched this year, which is unfortunate. It's such a small, awesome phone. The sales were just not there. iPhone 14 and 14 Pro will still be 6.1 inches, and the Pro Max will remain a big, heavy chunker at 6.7. But apparently, Apple is set to introduce a bigger iPhone 14, known as the iPhone 14 Max, a non-Pro version, as more people seem to want a bigger phone than a smaller one. Now, the cameras are always the big defining factor between most phones these days. It's the area that most companies spend time marketing, and this year it's going to be a big one for Apple. The ultra-wide lens will be the same, but slightly improved. The main sensor is rumored to be a 48 megapixel camera, which would be a massive improvement over the 12 megapixel version we have now. Just imagine the ProRes file sizes if they allow you to use the whole sensor. My gut feeling is they won't. And each shot will be 12 megapixels through a process known as pixel binning. Pixel binning also produces much better results under low light. As for video, 8K recording will finally be a thing on an iPhone. How good it will be? Kind of remains to be seen, but my guess is that the lighting needs to be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be a periscope lens. Apparently, there's a few patents by other companies which are causing Apple problems. They would have to license the technology or continue making their own version. Plus, based on what I've seen, the cameras won't stick out nearly as much as they do now. Apparently, the chassis is getting thicker again to allow for the lack of a camera bump. The LED, flash, and LiDAR scanner will be flush, and the material of the entire iPhone lineup will switch from aluminum or stainless steel for the Pro models to titanium. I personally don't think this will happen on the normal models, but more likely on the Pros. The good news, though, is that titanium does a better job of resisting scratches and is less likely to corrode. Apple's new A16 will continue to be faster and better than any other mobile chip out there, but Apple is not ready to move to a 3 or 4 nanometer architecture. It's going to remain 5, but using TSMC's new manufacturing process called N4P. The new process will offer 11% improvement in power efficiency and a 6% improvement in transistor density. Battery life will be more amazing than it is now, but I don't think performance will see a huge boost, unless Apple plans on introducing some sort of vapor chamber thermal system to boost computing power and faster 5G speeds. But based on history, I don't think Apple will do that. Battery sizes will be the same, and I don't think they'll switch the port this year. We will again be stuck with a Lightning port across the entire lineup, which at this point is getting really ridiculous. You know, like MacBooks and pretty much most of their iPad lineup uses USB Type-C. It should be on the iPhone as well, especially considering how god-awful slow it is to transfer big files across a Lightning port, like ProRes videos. We are thankfully getting another Qualcomm Snapdragon modem for 5G this time. It's the X65, which is more efficient and will use less battery. But the interesting thing about this modem is that it enables satellite connectivity. This is really cool because if you're ever in a situation, let's say an emergency situation where there's no cell service, you can use a satellite to send an SMS message for help. I mean, at the end of the day, these are small iterative improvements that keep making the iPhone a better product with each update. The days of massive improvements are long behind us for this type of form factor. But of course, anyone coming from an older iPhone will benefit from this. But iPhone 12 and 13 users will view this as a minor upgrade. Either way, I'm always excited for an iPhone launch as there's always a few things that leave us surprised. What features do you really want with the next iPhone? Make sure to subscribe to see the review later this year. Like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.